Hello all. I'm on the smaller camera today. We're trying that out after I tried to fix it. It was a shorted circuit board, but it's too small for me to figure out. So I just jammed something between the case and the circuit board and it seems to be working. So anyway, I just wanted to respond to a comment on my last video. Let me show you. What I wanted to say is just my opinion and what I've found out. What I've found out that there's only one species of human, Homo sapien. That's it. There isn't any other species or race. So the New World Order puts out there that race needs to be a dividing line, and we divide on such things as race. When really race, what they call race, color skin, the color of their skin, which has everything to do with where their ancestors used to live. So if they lived in the equator, their skin was dark, which would then control the amount of vitamin D that got into their systems. Because if we get too much vitamin D from the sun, we can become ill from it. So the body has one of the most important organs is of course the skin, and the way it works is each individual cell is white all the way to black, and the further towards the equator you go, the more this skin cell turns and reveals darker colors to protect you from the sun. The same goes for if you're far up in the north, any north. The farther up north or the farther south towards the poles you are, the whiter your skin is to get more vitamin D out of the sun, because part of the year you're in shade. So it needs to be white so that it can take every bit of vitamin D it can get. It regulates our vitamin D, and that's all it is. It has nothing to do with being lazy or where you live or anything like that. And the reason the jobs left the U.S. had nothing to do with being sick of the workforce. It was because it was cheaper. We took away the regulations in the U.S. that said that if you were to come into this country with an item such as a car, you had to charge the same as the item that was made here locally, so that the competition was fair. That was the 50s and 60s and 70s. Then we had this craziness of deregulation that came in and threw all that away. The jobs were able to move out of the country, and they did. They flew out to get cheap labor. That's all, just exploitation of other humans. Again, choosing a race, so-called, the Asian community, to exploitate their workforce for half or quarter of the pay. So, and then they got rid of all of our health care, and of course then our health care benefits all rose to skyrocketing, again, privatization, skyrocketing levels. Now, of course, the ones that can afford it have no trouble with this scheme at all. They get all these huge hospitals and stuff that are practically empty, and they get to enjoy all this great health care, while the rest of us, don't get me started on that. The corporate welfare that our government pays to all these big corporations like the New World Order wants, such as the military-industrial complex, who hardly pays any taxes at all. All they do is put their money in a tax haven, a place where they don't have to pay taxes, and they get away with this crap. Talk about welfare. Talk about welfare. You should see the welfare for the oil industry or the tire industry or any of the other industries out there that are connected with the military-industrial complex, or the Clinton family or the Bush family or any of these other corrupt people. Now, the corporate welfare for the military-industrial complex, the banking industry, the derivatives, the trash derivatives and all this stuff, that's all corporately funded, and it's funded by our welfare to the rich. And when people really need help, the rich start screaming because, oh, welfare, oh, lazy bums and all this stuff. Boy, talk about lazy bums. Just look at these military-industrial complexes making all this huge money off of going and killing somebody. That's not even, we're all the same kind of people. Why are we having a war? So the New World Order knows how to divide us. They really do. They divide us on skin. They divide us on where we live, calling us lazy. You know, certain parts of the population lazy, when really it has to do with how much money goes into the system versus how much goes into people's pockets through all the corruption in the governments. You know, it has hardly anything to do with the people. The people would be glad to work if the jobs were here. But of course our government works against us right now because of the DNR situation of all this corruption and all this trying to get the last dollar into their bank account. You know, the top 1% is so small and has most of the money now. And to say that this system works is crazy, and it's just all part of the New World Order to get the money out of the people. That's why they want for-profit health care and for-profit water and for-profit freeways. Oh, that's really going to be neat. What do you have to do? Stop every 5 minutes and put money into a little catch thing to, oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, let's just degrade into a horrible situation. But I'm telling you, socialism as the U.S. has it is pretty damn nice. If we just need to add to it the hospitals, you know, all health care for all, which means that nobody's getting it free, everybody's paying for it. We need to change the tax system so that we pay on consumption, and that's all we pay on. You should hear the explosions I'm hearing. Really low, like way off in the distance, out in the ocean or something. How strange. So I can see why people are getting a little riled about that comment, because it was right out of the New World Order's script book. You know, we're not going to be divided. We're just not. You know, they're pushing that divide stuff. You know, us against them, and lazy against unlazy, and this person's this, and next he's going to marry his dog, kind of nonsense, and just all this garbage that's out there. I get so sick of hearing it. I had to turn off somebody that I used to listen to just for entertainment, but it was so off the wall. It was just all crap. It was just to sell some drops of this and drops of that do absolutely nothing, and the gullible sheep fall for it. And okay, well, that was my rant. You guys can make comments down below whether you agree or disagree and what your thoughts are on the way things are. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I certainly appreciate all the comments, the ups, the downs, and the new subscribers. And until next time.